has to operate, because when you see him playing Oklahoma City, they play that ISO ball. I mean, they collapsed on Kevin Durant so much that he had to take some of the difficult shots that I have ever seen, and it was tough shots, and he was able to make that. So he goes from this ISO ball to a freestyle offense that stretches defenses out past the 3-point line, even to 30 feet to out there to try to guard these three guys that can shoot the ball. Then you throw in Draymond Green, who's able to shoot the ball. Now, listen, you're up 3-1. I mean, a lot of people was picking Oklahoma City to win the title last year. A lot of people was. They was the team. I thought they blew their chances. They really blew their chance, because honestly, they match up well with Cleveland, and they matched up well with Golden State. So I felt that, they was the team to beat, but it's crazy that they was up 3-1 and they blew that lead. But I'm stunned when all the players calling them out. Well, you can't beat them, you got to join them. And listen, it is what it is. It's his free agent rights to exercise that if he wants to go to another team. But to me, I just can't co-sign on going to a team that just beat you and everything like that. But at the end of the day, this is Kevin Durant's decision. A lot of people done got over it. Now I want to see how he handles the villain role, because LeBron handled it pretty well when he hit the Miami. Now, when he was in his first preseason game, when they was in Vancouver, of all places, Vancouver doesn't have an NBA team anymore. They was booing the crap out of Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant looked kind of rattled. Now, imagine, outside of Oakland, everybody's going to boo this guy. You're going to go to the arena. Mm-hmm. They're must-see TV. So everywhere they're going to go, it's going to be sellout like they did in the Heat when they had their big three. It's going to be sellout. And I'm honored. I want to see how he handled this villain role. I really do. And it's going to be shaky probably the first 20 games for him. He'll hit somewhere to be on and off, and I'm sure they'll play a couple teams that can't defend that. It's hard to defend three shooters, man, of this caliber that they have on this team. So I'm interested, man. This is going to be fun to see. I know everybody's got their 2 championship teams in mind that's going to make it to the finals, but the storyline to get there is what's going to be intriguing for people to watch.
Right.
All right.
Can I ask a question real quick in regards to what you just said there, Cortez?
Yeah.
So with the points that you were making, it was all offense. Mm-hmm. What happens in the playoffs and in the finals when someone steps up with defense?
You know what? And that's the funny thing, man. Usually I lean to the defensive side of the ball. This team is just a team that's going to win with offense, man. And that's what scares me with this team, is that as much as you can try to defend them, you're going to stretch out these guys 30 feet, man. And I know defense win championships, but they might defy the odds that defense. You might have some of the best defense in the world to try to guard these guys. It's gonna be
it's
really
like the
hard.
Suns with Steve Nash and Stoudemire back in the day. They were putting up 120-something points a game. They didn't play defense. They just sat there and shoot the lights out, and that's how they won games.
And where did they make it to as far as
very true? Where was very it? True. No, they didn't make it very far at all. They never made it to finals, but
very true. But you have three of the best shooters on the same team. So what's the odds that all three of them gonna go cold on the same night?
Right.
And then the thing is, I know everybody like, okay, your rotation shortened in the playoffs, everything like that. Well, hey, you can put one of these guys. One of these guys gonna be at lineups at all times. And the fact that you can play these guys together the fourth quarter. That's what I'm saying. They're going to define the odds where they say defense win championships. I don't know, man. It's always too early to tell. But they have a lot to work out because their bench is they're decimated. They don't have Barbosa no more. They don't have there's a few people they don't have.
They don't have a lot of people.
Spates. They don't have Spates. They don't have Bogut. They don't have Barnes.
Yeah, so I mean, but Barnes didn't really do anything.
Who's
Barnes.
He was just a wing defender.
Yeah, very true.
But that's about it. But he was a defender though. Like right now, it's still the whole thing. They're going to have to win it with offense because they have like little to no defense.
Yeah, that's what I say. I will be very, very shocked that this team lose. But we'll get to that because we won't cover that in a minute.
But I digress.
Yeah. All right.
That's the longest I went without saying anything.
I know, man.
But I was doing something.
Yeah. All right. Next question. We have the GM survey. They do all these surveys every year. And they picked these 5 players to be the best at their position. We got Steph Curry at point guard, James Harden shooting guard, LeBron James small forward, Anthony Davis power forward, and DeAndre Jordan center. Nick, do you agree with this GM survey?
I agree with all the positions except the DeAndre Jordan. I'd have to pick Marc Gasol for my best center in the league, and DeMarcus Cousins would come in a close second. To me, Gasol is the perfect package for the way that the front court is played in the NBA nowadays by spreading the floor. He's got range. I mean, he can shoot. I mean, come on, be real. He's got great post moves, and he's hands down one of the best passers as a center. And he's got such great basketball IQ, and I think that's a huge part of being a center. It's not just being a big guy presence. Like, you've got to know the game. You've got to know every aspect of it. And he's a pretty good defender, too. I mean, he averages a block and a half per game for his career, averages 7.8 for his career on rebounds. But we know that he's not nearly the defensive presence that DeAndre Jordan is. But that's why I feel like DeAndre doesn't deserve it, because he's a straight liability on the offensive end. Unless CP3 is throwing him an alley-oop, he's damn near useless. He has 0 post moves. Any defender can leave him open from 10 feet. And the hack-a-shack tactic works perfectly for this guy, because he's historically one of the worst free throw shooters of all time. I don't think that you can be the best center just by being only defensive guy. And, I mean, to me, yeah, he's a high flyer. He's going to give you highlight plays, but he's not going to do what he needs to do to be the best center in the league, and that's just me.
Got you. All right, Mike, you want to add to this?
Absolutely. I agree, actually, with overall one spot, and that's the small forward with LeBron.
I would have never guessed.
The reason why I say this
Never guessed.
is kind of make the point here. Like, Harden's going to be playing point guard this year for the Rockets. So do you put him in the shooting guard category, or do you put him in the point guard category? What do you do?
They should have put G's.
So if he's in the shooting guard category, I'll say Harden. But if not, and you put him in the point guard category, I say Klay Thompson as shooting guard. With point guard,
I agree.
Personally, I'll say Kyrie Irving. I like Curry. Curry's again, offense. He'll light you up for 30 a night, but he's done before it starts. Kyrie Irving has a large heart that will take him, and as we know, he won a championship off one shot. So he's extremely clutch, a good compliment to LeBron James, and I would actually pick him as my overall point guard. Perfect description on Marc Gasol. Nick, I definitely agree with you 100% on that, because I don't like DeAndre Jordan. I mean, when you can go 13 for 28 in the first half at the free throw line, that's horrible.
Exactly.
You know? I will say Anthony Davis, but should the injuries continue the way that they have, I think Karl Anthony Towns has a great opportunity to take that over.
Ooh. Okay. Kevin?
Oh.
Your GM survey?
First off, the guard position should be put as G, not point guard and shooting guard. Because half the time a point guard does all the damn shooting. So I'm like, it don't make any sense to do it anymore. Just put G. And if it was just G, the one guy that should be on there is Russell Westbrook. Hands down, don't care. Put Russell Westbrook in one of those positions. I don't care which one you put him in. Just put him in one of them. Put him in one of them. Anthony Davis, you can't stay healthy. You're not the best at your position. Sorry. DeAndre Jordan, if you think he's the best center in the league, you're high as a kite. And your teeth are green. Because you've been sipping on some NyQuil. Because he is not the best center. He ain't even the best defensive center in basketball right now. And I'm going to be biased. The best defensive center is in Miami.
That's on.
Exactly.
I like that.
Okay. He blocked. He had triple doubles with blocks. No one has triple doubles with blocks anymore. But yeah, he had triple doubles with blocks.
You're trying to make Cortez mad, or?
No, he did. He did. He legit had triple doubles with blocks. I think he did it against the Magic a couple of times last year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like I said, you're trying to make Cortez mad over there.
But DeAndre Jordan is not the best. He's a highlight reel. That's all he is, and he only gets the highlight reel if Chris Paul's not injured. That's the only time he's on the highlight reel, is if Chris Paul's not injured, or if Blake Griffin ain't jumping around him to grab the ball and dunk it. These things make no sense to me. GMs are high. GMs are basing it off of potential instead of basing it off of what you see with your own two eyeballs. Watch a game and you tell me who's better, DeAndre Jordan or any other center in the league that actually plays center. Karl Anthony Towns is way better than he is. At power forward right now, you go to watch Anthony Davis, and he's on that DNP. He did not play. So how are you going to put him on the team when he does not play?
Yeah, he can't stay healthy. But I agree with all four of them. I agree with four of them still up the center. I think everybody just agree that the center is he's not the best center in the NBA,
bad.
man.
Yeah, the center.
Yeah, and it's crazy how the center position just got devalued over the past decade and everything.
If we can all name 4 different centers that we would pick over him, then he's not the best center in the league.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going with DeMarcus Cousins. You know, he got career high scoring last year, 26 points, and the guy made 73 pointers last year. He's a double threat. You get 11 boards a game. I know it's in the era of positionless basketball, but in the right situation, Boogie could impact a team instantly. It's a shame that he's in a poison environment as the Sacramento Kings. When your owner suggests that you run a 4-on-5 defense, so you have someone cherry picking for points, that environment is probably not the best for you. So I really thought he was probably going to get traded to the Celtics, but since they went the Al Horford route, I don't know where he's going to be at. But
I would have loved to see him on the Celtics.
Yeah, it would have been an interesting dynamic to see him and Isaiah Thomas. So.
Well, where it is, it still could happen.
Exactly.
They're the most interested team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it still can happen. So that's why I got DeMarcus Cousins, and I can see y'all making case for everybody else there. So that's
hey, like I said, he was my close second if it wasn't for Gasol.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Next question. There was a report. Actually, Zay came out saying that Draymond Green, who he could factor to prevent the Warriors' long-term success. There's been, incidents with, him being a hothead. He's look at the incident where he had the Snapchat sending nude photos. I'm not going to say what he did on the air. He also slapped a Michigan State football player for egging him on for losing to the Cavaliers. So, I mean, Draymond Green has this history of, stuff like that. But particularly, do y'all agree with this executive saying that he could prevent the Warriors' long-term success because of his behaviors? And I'll start with you, Mike.
No, I'm not on that bandwagon at all. When you've got four studs like Durant, Thompson, Curry, and Green, one of them is going to have to go at the end of the year. If there's anybody that's expendable and they're gonna run offense and win based on offense only, then Draymond's going to be the expendable one. His intensity brings a huge amount of energy to the court and for the team, but let's not forget they lost Game 7 with him in. And he scored, 30 points that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hitting threes like you wouldn't believe, and they ended up losing. So whether he was off the court, whether he was on the court, it still doesn't mean that it's a guaranteed W. Mm-hmm. So I think, even with him playing, center most of the time and going to that small lineup, he's going to get worn out quite a bit. So, I personally think that Draymond, as good of a player as he is, good as a presence, he's a system player.
Gotcha. Nick, your thoughts on this report?
I'm 50-50 on this one, and it's literally dead 50-50. I mean, if he cleans up his on and off court antics, it's out of question right now. But he could possibly retire with Golden State. You never know what the future holds. But on the other hand, if he keeps the way he is, he can find himself on the trading block. It was a huge impact for him to be suspended for Game 5 in the finals. All because of silly technical fouls. Steven Adams' family jewels could vouch for that.
So can LeBron's.
Right? Exactly. But, I understand that's just the type of player that he is, though. He brings that uplifting passion to the court. And the other players that he plays against find him as that pesky defender that's going to clap and scream in your face when he gets that defensive stop or when he's fighting for a rebound and a putback and he's running down court. I get the whole passion part, but if you're going to take passion to a level, be like Kevin Garnett. Be a classy, passionate kind of guy. Yeah, you're still going to be talking smack, this and that, but I don't know. I'm 50-50 with this one. I'm not sure how to think about it.
Okay. This report about executive talking about Draymond Green could factor in and prevent the Warriors' long-term success.
There's a jip. There's what I like to call an idiot on every team. There's one of those guys on every team. Every championship team has had an idiot on it. Think back to the old Bulls teams. Who was their idiot?
Rodman.
There you go. They had an idiot. Everybody has an idiot. He's Golden State's idiot. He's a more talented idiot than some of the other idiots, but he's still an idiot. He'll